The drought is finally over. For the last 2 years, the IPO market was just that. It was a wasteland for high growth stocks. But 2025 changes everything with massive billion-dollar debuts just pumping off, sometimes surging even 250% in their first day. So this isn't just a flash in the pan. The best private companies have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for stability, and now the floodgates are opening. In 2026 and 2026 is set to deliver the highest quality new listed companies that you've ever seen. So in this video, I'm giving you a massive advantage because we're going to talk about and identify 3 sectors poised to deliver the biggest IPO gains and 3 specific companies you need to watch right now and add them to your watch list. Plus, I will teach you my IPO warning system because this is very important not to get caught in IPOs. So don't go anywhere. Let's dig in. So before we dive deeper and get into the fun stuff, you need to know the IPO warning system. Now, this is how you protect your capital from extra hype. So there are 2 rules. The first rule being that the profitability filter. In the old days, companies could just IPO with 0 profits, just promise of growth. Now that era is kind of over. Only invest in IPOs that are already profitable, or at least they have a clear, realistic path of profitability based on strong margins. So we are looking for a proven business, not science project, okay? So the rule number 2 would be then the value sanity check. The biggest first day gainers this year were one where the IPO price at the low end of the initial range or even above their received range. So we want companies with huge up-end investors that are in demand, which often signals institutional investors believing in its underlying. So if the price is too high and it's still up 5% on day 1, then just pass. Now let's jump to the 3 IPOs that you should add to your watch list. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research and you could lose all your money. So take this with a grain of salt. But from my research, this would be the 3 IPOs that I'm going to add to my watch list. So let's jump over them quickly. First of all is cybersecurity space, the cyber titan. So we are watching for a company that is called SecureFlow, a hyper-technical leader in the AI-powered cloud security. Now, if you take a look at their description, they clearly state here that operator, so SecureFlow is the operator of a first ever web-based platform intended to streamline the work streams required to exchange cash in mergers and acquisitions. The company prevents errors and phishing scams, automatically tracks the deal-rated data, and brings order to chaos, enabling clients to streamline cash exchanges in large mergers and acquisitions. So pretty interesting idea here from SecureFlow. So why this segment? As every industry adopts AI now, the attack surface expands exponentially. This company is a winner because they have security, e.g. a massive 90% consumer retention, and that is very important, and are dominating the government and large enterprise cloud companies. So also the expected valuation is high, but the total addressable market is growing ever faster. They fit our portfolio filter perfectly. Okay, let's move to the next one, which is obviously the pharma giants. Now, this is a biotechnology sector specifically focusing on AI-driven drugs discovery. So let's track a firm called Genesight Pharma. Now we take a look at their description. The Genesight Pharma is a pharmacogenomic test, which means that it analyzes how your genes may affect medication outcomes. The Genesight test analyzes clinically important genetics variations in your DNA. Results can inform your healthcare provider about how you may break down or respond to certain medications commonly prescribed to treat depression, anxiety, ADHD, and other psychiatric conditions. So pretty cool company. Dig into this because Genesiight's core value is their proprietary platform / model. So that shells the R&D time for the drugs from 5 years, slashes the R&D time for new drugs from 5 years to potentially 1 year, which is a massive gain. The moat isn't the drug itself, but the speed of their discovery engine. Okay, let's move to number 3, which is of course an epic of volatility but explosive sector, which is the crypto infrastructure. This IPO watch list number 3 on our watch list is the Digital Gold Miner, a firm that I call the Digital Ledger Corporation. They are specific. Their specific service is a regulated crypto exchange custodian platform. So there we go. So basically, if you just search for Ledger, that's also what I use to cold store my crypto. While the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum is volatile, the infrastructure behind it is a pick and shovels play. So Digital Ledger Corp is a dominant player in the providing of security, regulated custody, and traditional and trading institutions. This means they benefit regardless of which coin wins as long as institutions are involved. Their growth is directly tied to the regulatory stability, so keep a very close eye on their initial pricing to see if they're a fit or a valuation sanity check. Now, let's move on to pre-IPO strategy. Now, how do you get exposure to these types of growth before the IPO? The truth is, retail investors like you and I rarely get into the ground floor, and each time somebody calls you, just pass. If you're not Morgan Stanley, then somebody's calling you with a scam, okay? So just pass on pre-IPO investments. Wait the company to come as an IPO, to have their initial private offering. That's what IPO stands for. But there is the next best thing, and that is invest in public companies that own the private ones. So that's basically pretty simple. Many of these unicorns are backed by public traded ventures capitals, funds, or held in major pre-IPO ETFs already. So by investing in these, you can get a diversified basket of the next generation of tech giants, also minimizing the risk of a single bad IPO, obviously, and getting exposure to a potential IPO pop. So do your research on which public companies have the deepest exposure to these growth segments, and you're good to go. Now, look for IPOs, as a closing statement here, look for IPOs and also for the IPO market that is heating up, and participate in it, but cautiously, and patience will finally pay off here. So if this video gave you a single new IPO idea to track, then please give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel and become a member here on WealthTown. I'm Norbert Menhart and I build and protect wealth. With this being said, have a lovely day. Stay safe out there. Catch you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.